Introducing Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
And we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT, and this is the rundown, usually the Sunday rundown. But I had some internet problems. It's the rainy season here in Thailand, and we are here tonight to give you guys a great show. Topic of debate recently, Passport Sisters versus Passport Bros. Who is really winning overseas? I want to welcome everybody to the show. We got a hell of a show for you guys tonight on this, I believe, Monday evening there in the States. It is Tuesday morning here in Thailand. I'm pretty sure you guys over there watching maybe some NBA basketball, watching them bum-ass Knicks play. You know, I hate the Knicks. Ever since Larry Johnson did that 4-point play to beat the Pacers back in the day, messed up my little parlay, man. I know you guys remember that 4-point play. Larry Johnson in the last 3 seconds of the game back in the day, man. So welcome to the show, guys. We are here. We're going to chop it up. Like I said, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. A lot of viral videos. A lot of videos been going viral. We're going to talk about some of those videos. Shout out to my man O'Shea. He also dropped a video. We're going to break down that video as well. Let's see who got in the building. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my man Bert Ross in the building. What's going on, Bert? He says, good evening, everyone. Shout out to my man Bert, man. Bert be pulling up. You know, you might see Bert somewhere in a duck off in Brazil somewhere, you know, with the Paradise Life or the Passport Bros shirt on, man. So shout out to my man Bert Ross in the building. Now, we got a lot of comments already going on. Let me see here. And we also have a poll. All right, so we're going to read that poll. I know a lot of guys voted on the poll because we had this stream up for quite some time. Shout out my man 3C in the building as well. All right, so the poll was, are Passport Bros having better dating experience overseas? All right, and you guys can vote on the poll now. Right now, we got about 18 votes. So as the stream goes further, it'll be more votes. But right now, it says, our Passport Sisters having better dating experiences overseas. And we're going to dissect that on this live tonight. 61% says no. 38% says yes. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Shout out to my man Backpack Val in the building. You know, shout out to you, man. I've heard from you in a minute, man. I know I used to do the streams a little earlier when I was in the DR, but I appreciate you stopping by this evening. He says, shout outs to the great Larry Johnson back in the ECF against none other than them damn Pacers. Salute BMT, the ugliest ninja in the group. Shout out to Cardell. Shout out to my man Cardell. We're going to bring him on sometime this week. Shout out to him. Congratulations to him. He actually has several businesses out there in the Dominican Republic. So we're going to be chopping up about him, with him, maybe sometime later this week. All right. What up, Deal? What's good? What's good? Now, before we get to the Passport Sisters, we got to talk about the Passport Bros. And this is technically not a Passport Bro incident, more of a bro overseas incident. And now 9 times out of 10, when we see viral videos of guys getting in trouble, it's never us. It's never the melanated brothers that's getting in trouble. But in this particular video, I broke it down in a reaction video, Passport Bro reaction video I did a few days ago. I got to play this story because you guys got to be aware. I know a lot of guys are overseas, and I've actually had personal experiences with knowing some fellas that, let's just say, they be bringing in certain things they shouldn't be bringing in sad countries. So let me play this story real quick before we get to the gist of the show. So we got a brother here out there in Indonesia.
As he is being arrested in Indonesia.
Hold on, there we go. It takes a little time for the stream to catch up. But I broke this down in a reaction video, like I said previously. So we got a brother here that's about 6, I think he said 6'8". One of my guys I did the interview with, D-May, actually knew him. He hit me up as soon as he saw the video. He's like, man, I know that brother. All right, so this brother got banged up, caught at the airport. Apparently, he was getting gummies, THC gummies, sent to him from someone in Thailand. As some of you guys already know, in Thailand, marijuana is legal, all right? But Indonesia is not. And he's he could be possibly facing some pretty stiff penalties. I hope not, but here's the story. Fair use, YouTube, fair use.
This is Jared Shaw from Dallas calling for help as he is being arrested in Indonesia. His face blurred by the police taking the video. The 6'10" Carter High School and then Utah State player went
6'10". Guys, if you over like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", you're already standing out because you're a brother. But if you're gonna really stand out if you're walking around 16.
Undrafted in 2014, but found success overseas, most recently in the Indonesian Basketball League, until his arrest in Tangerang, Indonesia, just outside Jakarta. Police there paraded him in front of the local media, made him climb onto a press conference stage and stand with his back to the audience.
This dude is a black giant walking around trying to sneak some gummies through the Indonesian airport.
While they detailed the charges against him. Police say they intercepted a package sent to him by a woman in Thailand. Delta 9 THC candies and gummies worth about $400 that they allege he planned to sell and share with other players.
So the penalties are pretty stiff. He could be facing life or death, unfortunately, by a firing squad. All over $400 worth of gummies. More or less, he probably was kind of sneaking them and selling them to the other players as a side hustle. Listen, guys, it is 2025, right? Your side hustle right now should be producing content. I've told guys this for the last few years. I said, hey, man, content creation is the new hustle, basically. It could be a side hustle. It could be a full-time hustle. You can build thrive companies off of the social media influence. Selling gummies like you back in the 90s or early 2000s with the whole dope boy thing, dope boy overseas. Bad move. And we don't really know, this is a different judicial system. We know it'd probably be a slap on the wrist, maybe some probation in the United States. Maybe he wasn't aware. I don't see how he wouldn't be aware, because from what I was told, my man D may say they kind of give you a rundown of all the rules and soft laws when you get to these countries when you're an international basketball player. Now, I've met quite a few international basketball players. I met some in Brazil. Of course, they're here in Thailand. It's so crazy, man, because when you see these like basketball tournaments out here in Southeast Asia, I think it was like the pre-Olympics or whatever the little tournaments were. You see the teams, you'd be like, they might have, a couple of Cambodians, a couple of Thais on there, but they be having brothers on the team. Now, how they play for Olympic teams, I don't know. But the big man usually be the brothers, the guys in the 6'8", 6'9". So he had a pretty, good career. basically. And you know, from what I was told, they make decent money. A lot of times their housing is paid for already. So why would you do this? I am not sure at all. Like I say, probably wanted to make some extra money. Maybe he wanted to really take gummies. Maybe he was addicted to marijuana. I don't know. But bad move. You know, just the fact that you're facing life or the death penalty, you know, that's bad, man. Hopefully they don't make him an example. Unfortunately, it has went viral. It has hit the world news. And it does that, more than likely they're going to make an example out of him. Now, he could be just facing the year. I mean, minimum is the year. That's what I'm hoping. Or he could get 10 years. Who knows?
Strictly illegal in Indonesia. Possession alone could mean a minimum sentence of 1 year or as much as life in prison.
All right. So that's basically the gist of it, guys. Bros be messing up. Like, this doesn't have nothing necessarily to do with dating. But damn, of course, it's like a majority Muslim country at that. So we'll follow up on the story. Like I said, hopefully he's not set up an example. You know, maybe he'll get the minimum sentence. He plays ball out there. He's pretty well known. I saw him doing some viral dances out there. So he's pretty well known out there. Why he would do this, I don't know, but he definitely dropped the ball as a bro. All right. CC says, really dumb move. Yeah, man, it really dumb move. Somebody says, is Delta gummies not even the real gummies? I believe it said it has THC in it, bro. So if it has THC in there, it's illegal. All right. It is illegal. Now, guys, now we'll get to another clip right here. All right. Let me pull this up.
Different. Passport, bro.
Okay, here we go. So, you know, we always topic of conversation. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. No, we always topic of conversation, man. Let's see what she has to say about the passport sisters and the passport bros.
Can we all just agree that foreign women coming to Korea to get with Korean men should not be referred to as passport sisters? Because it couldn't be more different. Passport bros.
How so? Let's see what she has to say.
Go to impoverished countries and use their money and their resources on the local women to coerce them into being with them in a relationship or sharing the night with them.
Coerce them into being in a relationship. How can you coerce somebody being in a relationship? This talking point is so just so wrong, basically. I don't even have a word for it. Because in what world do people actually make the same amount of money? Right? In what world? Most women, even in America, want to date a guy that makes a substantial amount of more money than they do.
And as problematic as, you know, fetishizing a certain race is and coming to a different country to live out this fetish, I don't think you can compare the two. At the end of the day, when the women come to Korea, the men come running too. Okay? Everyone involved.
When the women come to Korea, the men come running too. So we're gonna look into this. We're definitely gonna look into this.
Involved is pretty much on the same footing. Everyone involved wants to happen what is happening. Last year, I kind of touched on the subject of this like new phenomenon that we're seeing of women coming to Korea to be with Korean men. And I still can't believe there's no word for it yet because it's not passport sisters. Like, no. Passport bros are disgusting, okay? The girlies who are coming here, not on the same level. This is a little problematic. Not on the same level, not even close. Can we all
right, so you see what she had to say. All right, so check this out. Let's pull this up. Let's pull her back up. All right.
women coming to Korea to get with Korean.
All right. And she has other little cringe posts about her trying to holler at Korean men and then pretty much not really being comfortable with her. But let's look at some of the salaries real quick. Now, she said that they're on the same equal footing pretty much as far as financially. Let's look at this. Now, you see on the left-hand side, you got American women versus Korean men. This is their yearly salaries on average. Now, we know it's going to be some guys were higher, than American women. I know Korean guys out there getting to the money, getting to the bag, but on average, the average American woman, and I'm not sure if this is 100% correct because I think it's lower than 55,000. But in general, they're saying American women make about $55,000 a year. Korean men make about $36,000 a year. All right. So that's a big difference. So it's not necessarily equal footing, like she says. Like I said before, when you're dating someone, feelings are involved. It's mainly women that's worried about how much salary the guy makes and everything. Does he make more than her and everything like that? So that's pretty much a pretty sizable imbalance. Not only a sizable imbalance, but just culturally, there are going to be some differences. Most of the time, these guys from these other countries are dating women within their own culture, not only because of family, because of just cultural norms that a lot of women from the West would not be used to. The men are easily a little bit more adaptive. We can adapt easier within a foreign culture. A lot of times I tend we respect that culture. We understand that culture. When it comes to women, they're bringing a culture of, with them that's often, a little bit dysfunctional in their eyes. You have a very traditional, older culture in these Asian countries, especially these Southeast Asian countries. All right. Somebody said she's using a filter. Probably so. They all use filters. But she does have posts. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. But she does have posts where she's going over there and she's basically cringe dating. Like she's really trying to, get these guys to kind of basically holler at her. And they're not, for whatever reason, they're not really on her like that. Let me see if we can find some of these cringe posts that she's been making. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Somebody says she's cute. I believe she's like a mulatto. She's mixed. She's like, I think, half African and half something else. She actually put her DNA up on her TikTok, and she had put she actually put some cool stuff up on her TikTok of Uncle Ruckus. Like she's finding out that she's black, but we can all tell that she's black. ESCO 215 says exactly the same. Passport sisters are getting tripped up going to countries where the local men can't support them and their BS lifestyle. So what up, Data CP? What's good? Ozzy says cap. Yeah. Definitely cap. And shout out to my man O'Shea. I want to go ahead and pull this up. My man O'Shea did a video. Pull this up. We're going to break down a little bit of this video here.
Opportunities are just a change in.
Okay. Here we go. So the title of this video is Japan Men Are Ghosting Sisters. Now, this is not about Korea, but I would think Korea, it'd be even worse. Okay. The funny thing is, I remember meeting a neighbor. We stayed in the same apartment building back in the day in Atlanta, one of the expensive ass apartment buildings. I could stay in that expensive ass apartment. But she was telling me, she was just like, yeah, I really don't date the brothers here. Guys are weird as hell out here in Atlanta. So I'm going to start teaching in Japan. I want an Asian guy. And I was like, okay, all right. I mean, and she was a little hefty sister. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know, but good luck. All right, good luck. But let's see what O'Shea has to say about this.
A lot of nice restaurants, everything you want allegedly is in Tokyo. So I'm assuming a lot of black women go there for, certain economic opportunities or just a change in lifestyle.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
The issue is when black women try to go to Tokyo and try to date Japanese men.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, on one hand, I hear that it is very favorable for black women.
Japanese men love their black women. Forget everything you've heard. I know they have all these Japanese beauty standards, but trust me when I say they love their black women. If you're single, get an Asian Cupid, do whatever it is that you have to do. These men are faithful. They're very family oriented, big into fitness.
This whole narrative that it's just one is a group of men ethnically that's better than the other. All men are ultimately the same. All right. Basically animals when it comes to women. All right. The fact that she said Japanese are faithful, they just these perfect group of men. There are no perfect groups of men. As a matter of fact, the men overseas are way more notorious than the men in the States. You basically develop a whole simp culture in America of stepdads, all right, sugar daddies, simps, pookies. You got a whole dating pool in the United States. These men overseas are serious, man. These Middle Eastern men and Asian men, bro, I've seen it. I've seen how Israelis talk to women out here. Like, bro, they are way more serious, way more domineering. All right. And in some cases, even more masculine to a certain degree. I'm just sorry as far as how they treat the women. Like it's demanding. It's like no, there's no question being asked, right? They're gonna run the show. It is what it is. So this whole narrative that, it's just I just moved to Japan and the men are just so perfect and they don't cheat and they all family oriented and they are so in shape and they just treat me like a queen. That's bullshit. What she's really talking about is the fact that dudes are smash. That's what she's talking about. Anytime you hear a woman says that, like, they just love black women and they love black queens, it's really the fact that they're smashing. Like they don't mind getting one in, so they feel like that's love. Like, they must be showing me love. No, they just think you were easy late. To prove my point, let's continue the video.
And they're going to treat you right.
But on the flip side, I've heard some terrible things from black women complaining themselves about interacting with Japanese men.
Dating in Japan is crazy because you have Japanese men who will say and do things to you as a foreign woman that they 100% would never even consider doing to a Japanese woman. It isn't anything new. There's a lot of foreign women like myself who experience this with dating Japanese men. Now, obviously, it's not all Japanese men, but there are some Japanese guys out there who just don't take foreign women seriously. They'll go on a few dates with you, probably with the hopes of sleeping with you. They'll maybe date you for a little bit, but as far as like serious talk, like marriage and having kids, bringing you home to their families, a lot of them won't even consider doing that. But you best believe when it comes to asking foreign women to have sex and things like that, like I've straight up had Japanese men send me messages, not with even a hello, how are you, my name is, just straight up asking me if I want to give them a. And the reason why a lot of Japanese men view foreign women as like playthings is because for some reason, foreign women in Japan have a reputation of being easy. And by easy, I mean easy to sleep with.
All right. That's just not in Japan. That's worldwide, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's pretty much worldwide. Even in Colombia, even in the Dominican Republic, women go overseas and, like most people, they want to get it in. Sometimes they kind of know what it is off top. Sometimes they don't. Some guys be foreign guys. Like I said, I had one of my Venezuelan homies. He was finessing a sister out there in Medellin, Colombia. She was fleecing. I still remember we was in Parque Aires, and this is when they had shot my man Rob Rose. He had just opened up a little club out there in Parque Aires, and the Venezuelan guy was the security. And I remember him telling me, "Hey, watch this. Watch this." And I forgot the word in Spanish for like the version of their version of a Sankey Panky or gigolo. It's like a Spanish word for the word get gigolo. But I remember he said, watch this, Ferris. And he was a sister from the States. He went and met her across the street and walked her directly to the ATM machine. He walked her directly to the ATM machine. She pulls out some money. She gives him the money. He walks around the corner for a second, maybe like 10, 15 minutes or whatnot. I think he might have walked her to a club or a bar or something and came right back to work. And he was just giggling and laughing, right? So I'm just like, well, like I can't hate the game. Can't hate the game. Can't hate the play in the game. It is what it is. All right.
And the reason why I know that Japanese men talk crazy to foreign women but would never speak that way to Japanese women is because I've asked my Japanese friends, what the going on with your men? Like, why are they asking me for blowjobs and all this like weird sexual stuff when I've never even met them? And my friends are like, I've never had guys say those things to me or speak to me in that way.
And guys, it gets worse. If you go into the comment section, you will find a number of black women agreeing with her. So it's amazing that black women in Japan got underneath this particular video, and they were also venting their frustrations. This young lady says, "Girl, I give up." And the creator of the post said,
That first girl, I believe, was my old neighbor, actually. I'm pretty sure that's her.
Then look at this. Yes, Chinese and Koreans too. They think we are easy. Most fetishized about black women, 100% correct. This young lady says, "Girl, it's scary even on the first date." Take this black woman from Jamaica who's been living in Japan for a number of years, and this has been her dating experience.
Now, let me say this, because I don't want people to feel like I'm just ragging on the sisters. I'm just pointing out some facts right here. It's rough for all women coming from the West to actually date overseas. I just want to put that out there. Whether they're black, Latino, white, whatever. I think the white women have a little bit of a better dating situation for the most part, but a lot of the white women are a little older when they come over here, or the guys don't have enough money for them for the most part. So I would think they might have a somewhat smaller, better dating percentage, but not much. Not by much, bro. Not by much.
Here for 9 years. Have you ever dated a Japanese person?
No.
No. Why is that?
Japanese guys, can you tell me the answer to the question? Really? I have no idea. I don't know. I think, to be honest, nobody talks to me. Nobody ever. No, they never talk to me.
And she's been in Japan for 9 years.
They never tried to invite me out. There's another reason. That's from my side. I think when I first moved to Japan, I lived in the countryside, and I come from a very proud culture, you know, where all types of people are beautiful, where black is beautiful, your body type doesn't matter.
That's another thing. The body type really matters over here. I be seeing kind of like what the Asian guys out here prefer for the most part, and they prefer women with their collarbone. They prefer a smaller frame woman. And that's the thing that's funny to me when they say things like, "Oh, you guys are going over there taking their women." I said, for the most part, most black men, we have like a separate preference than the local population 9 times out of 10. All right? Like, it is what it is. We be going for the more well-rounded, well-built women in some of these countries. And I said, you know, it's funny because my girl was just like, you know, she was like, "Can I ask a question?" I was like, "What's up?" She was like, you know, why do black men like fat women? Like fat women? I'm just like, it ain't that we like fat women or anything like that. And plus, we have different preferences, by the way. But I was telling her, I was just like, we're big, like we're bigger people. You know what I'm saying? Like especially black Americans, we're like, I want to say we're like either one or number 2 or number 3, like the most biggest body mass people on the planet. So the guys are big. So some of the guys might want a bigger framed woman, bigger muscular framed woman. But like I said before, we're going, for the most part, we choose differently. And I hate to say this, a lot of sisters are just not the body type for guys out here in Asia, for the Asian guys, for the Asian bros, they're just not the body type. People always want to bring it down to the complexion, and that has a factor in it as well. But the reality is, it's just some of them sisters has got some weight on, and you know they don't like that out here. All right, I'm not gonna say the old word, boss. I hear you. I see you in the comment section, boss Don Dada. That's a dope name, by the way. All right, so let me play this other clip real quick.
No, that's messed up.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. So this is another passport sister out there in Japan. In Japan, Korea, China, all right, all pretty much similar. Different, way different culturally, but just as far as the dating that's going on out here. And this is not just the Asia. This is pretty much every country. I still remember being in Brazil and with 2 sisters. And I still remember, shout out to the homegirl, because she's still my homegirl. But she was just like, we was on the beach in Rio in Copacabana, and she said, "You know what, Aaron? I don't date American black guys." This is a girl from North Carolina. She was like, "I don't date American black guys." I was like, okay, because we were just walking the beach at night. I think it was her and another female that was American, but she was like Nigerian American or something. And she was like, "But you're different, Aaron. You're different." And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "Man, I ain't different." You know what I'm saying? I'm just available. I'm not different. I'm still black. I'm still American. Still a man. She tried to cover it up real quick. And I remember the other girl was just like, "I can't believe she said that type of shit." But then the Nigerian American girl was a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realistic. And she was just like, "Yeah, you're in Brazil. You're going to have a great time dating here. They like American guys. You're not going to have any issues, Aaron. All you got to do is learn a little Portuguese. But us, we not going to do, like, the guys are not just, they're not into us like that unless they want some money from us, right?" So let's see what her experience is in Japan. Let's see what she got going.
About like the Japanese people, like these Japanese people always like ghosting us, like after hitting it.
I can't believe she said that. Like these younger women, they just be putting it all out there on camera. She just said that the Japanese be ghosting her after they hit it. God damn! You want your boy, your future husband or future boyfriend hearing that shit about you on camera?
That's messed up.
That's your stuff? What
No, that's messed up.
Okay, that's messed up. I thought you said that's your stuff. Like, you ghost people?
No.
Okay,
No,
yeah. But Japanese people are always like ghosting women like after like hitting it. I swear.
I didn't know that.
Oh, baby, like I swear.
That is just insane because it really shows the lack of emotional maturity.
Oh man, she pandering to the sister, but it's all good.
Oh, talk to them, please. I promise you, like they be doing stuff and they be like ghosting us.
Man, I feel like it's not that hard to say, "Hey, I'm just not feeling this."
Have you been to Japan before? About like.
All right, so I mean, there you have it. Like that's the truth. That's the truth of what's going on. They hitting it, quitting it. Every man of every ethnicity like an easy lay. All right. They like a little easy lay, and it's just, I mean, it is what it is. And why you're seeing so much passport bro backlash is women are finding out, all right, because they always been told that they're better than us. They're a step above us, especially the sisters. They're finding out that men can easily date women genuinely right now. And we know, being a man, we know we got to be a provider. You know, our love comes with conditions. We understand that. All right. We men here in this chat, so we get it. We know women, not necessarily the same, because I hate when people say they're the same, but ultimately just female nature is going to be the same. They want men that they feel protected. They want to be comfortable. They want providers. But for women, it's just 100% totally different experience. And a lot of them are jealous of that. So much so, let me play this other clip. Okay, so this is another clip. And shout out to my sister. I'll be actually watching some of her content. She be up around Pattaya. If you guys don't know, there's a lot of sisters that be in Bangkok and Pattaya. It's like a whole little movement, black in Thailand. So you definitely gonna run into sisters out here. And for the most part, everything is all good. Like I say, I've never been opposed to building a community overseas. I think that's dope. I think that's what we need to do because America has a lot going on as far as inflation. So I celebrate that. Part, but we're just specifically talking about the dating. All right. So this is just, she's been here for a while. All right. The sister on the right, her name is Arnasia. Let's see what she has to say about dating in Thailand.
Into the tea. Let's get into the tea. So how is it dating as a black woman living abroad?
So for me, I feel like it kind of hasn't been like favorable. In the beginning, it wasn't really favorable because I want to be with my people. I want to be with a chocolate man. Oh, wait, let me not say chocolate. I want to be with a black man. It don't matter, light skin or dark skin for me. But I do want to be with someone of my culture. So I feel like I'm kind of at a disadvantage because a lot of the black men that do move to Thailand, they're moving here for the Thai women for various reasons, but they're moving here to go into the Asian persuasion, you know? They're not really checking for the sisters.
Blasian love.
They're not really checking for the sisters. So I would say that does put me at a disadvantage. But again, that's only because I am, boxing myself off to only dating my people.
I think that's cap. I think that's cap. All right, but here's a shot at us in the same interview.
But she's wearing the that you're different. Black men come to Thailand and they get with these Thai girls, but she's wearing the knotless braids. She got mega volume lashes, fat ass lips with lip filler. These
get you a black woman.
She's talking about pretty much like girls that be in the nightclubs, in Pattaya, some of the black nightclubs or the hip hop clubs, and in Pattaya, like each club has a different. The girls dress for basically the type of guys that they want, right? So if you go to the Indian club, you'll see that they dress a little bit more conservatively. They dress a little bit. If you go to a hip hop club, they're gonna be dressed like sisters for the most part. That's what she's talking about. So she's not talking about all Thai women because the majority of Thai women are don't dress like that. They don't have fake eyelashes. They don't have the braids or anything like that. Usually, when you see an Asian woman with the braids, that's because they either dating a brother or they looking to date a brother. All right, when they have the hair like she has.
Yeah,
that's how you feel.
So I'm proud of you, sis.
Check that. You're different. Black men come to Thailand and they get with these Thai girls, but she's wearing the knotless braids. She got mega volume lashes, fat ass lips with lip filler. These
get you a black woman.
Yeah,
that's how you feel.
So I'm proud of you, sis.
So, yeah, basically, and I've seen some of her videos, man. I mean, she's not a bad looking sister at all, but she just find out that, hey, the competition is actually more stiff out here. You're better off as far as dating wise. You're way better off in America. Everything kind of flips around when you get that passport and move overseas. And one of the biggest flips is going to be the dating options. All right. Yeah. It's my fan. I don't know who Vinny Johnson is. Benderson says, why would her brother move to Thailand and talk to her sister when the same sister said we're dusty and washed? She flew to Thailand to date the brothers. Yeah, that part. Yeah. That part, I don't know about that. I don't know about that part. Rosemary said, I watched this the other day. They made some statements just ridiculous, bro. Yeah. See y'all sitting here. Hey, Daz and Globetrotter, there's nothing really wrong with. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with mate card to a certain degree. All right. I kind of wish that we would make guard a little harder in our community. Right. So much a nope is always just they just want to hit it. Yeah, for sure, man. And now don't get me wrong. I've seen videos really by like a few content creators, not a lot. People like Global CZ, shout out to him. It was another dude, I forgot his name because he changed his YouTube name. And he was saying that it's difficult dating, women out here. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know about that. Man. You just got to get out of that tourist blocks that you in. Guys come out here for 2 weeks, they go to 808, they go to a couple other clubs, and then they think that's the culture. They think like, oh, that's these women are like this. And I'm like, no. Or they go to Medellin and they go to Parquilleres, they think, oh, these women are like this. And I hear all the time. They go to Copacabana and they think, oh, these women are like this. But in reality, Some of these women are very conservative, man. They got jobs, good jobs, they're educated, and you're going to have to date them like you would date a woman in the States for the most part. They want guys to be able to, protect and provide for them, just like the local men would protect and provide for them. Right. So you can't always judge a whole entire culture of women by the party district, basically. So when I see some of these guys complaining about, because I saw one guy say it in a video, shout out my man Jay Clyde. One guy was saying that, he don't really get that much love in Colombia. Colombian women like white guys more than brothers. And if you go to Mexico, it's the opposite. They like their brothers more than like the white guys. I'm sitting here like, Colombia? Did you just say Colombia don't like brothers? Colombia? Are you serious? Maybe they just don't like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Colombia, they like everybody in Colombia, especially brothers in Colombia. They like Colombia has like a very mulatto mixed culture. Where do you think all those mulattoes come from? They ain't all from just, mestizos and Afro-Latino women. It's just a mix, especially if you're American. All right. Shout out to my man, Mr. Travolta. The Western women can't compete when they move abroad. Appreciate the 50 pesos, brother. First super chat of the day. All right, so I got another clip I want to play right here. This is a video that's been going like mini viral that I did a reaction to. All right. Now we're talking about dating previously. Now we're talking about group trips and the different experiences that people have on group trips from guys to girls. All right. Now, I prefer actually that women do travel with each other because I think it's way safer, even though if they had a man, they'll be even more safer with them. The most safest a woman can travel is with her husband or with her boyfriend. But if you don't have that, then of course I would suggest maybe a group trip. All right. So these women out here are in Morocco, and I don't know if they're from the UK or they're from another part of Africa. But this is a video I did a reaction to right here earlier this week.
This is what we're wearing, but this is not. They threw a fucking tomato at us. What the hell? Are we dressed like prostitutes?
No, I don't think so.
What?
High quality guys.
Guys, they threw a tomato at us. They took the tomato thing real fucking serious. They just threw a tomato at us, probably because of the way we're dressed. This is what.
So if you guys don't know, Morocco is pretty much a Muslim country. It's not the most conservative. I'm hearing that, they do have more Western practices now in 2025, but you just never know when you're going to come across more of a traditionalist out there in Morocco. You're in a foreign country. They say dress appropriately if you're a woman. You don't necessarily have to have a hijab on, but you don't need to be showing cleavage. They actually say that. Like, I don't know if women kind of look at what the U.S. embassy tells them about going to a country. I know when I go to a new country, I always kind of check a little bit of the U.S. embassy. I also always call somebody that's boots on the ground that's either been there or lives there to kind of tell me about the soft rules and laws in these countries, because it's very important that you know it. You can be in Singapore, you've been smoking in Thailand, you pull up in Singapore and they give you a drug test. Now your ass in jail. Or you put some gum on the ground, you just casually chewing some gum, you spit it out, boom, you locked up in Singapore. So it's very important that you kind of ask, hey man, what's the, are there any crazy laws you need to abide by? Like what's the, especially in these Muslim countries. So the girls were assuming that it was tomatoes were thrown at them because of the way they dress. But I did have a guy in the comment section said, not necessarily, they might've been doing something else. That's why some people threw tomatoes at them. But in my opinion, it could have been way worse. It could have been way worse. All right.
We're wearing, but this is not. They threw a fucking tomato at us. What the hell? Are we dressed like prostitutes?
No.
I hope they were smart enough to catch a taxi or Uber out of that area immediately. I hope they're just not kind of just walking around aimlessly like, oh, somebody just threw a tomato at us. I mean, if a person, especially another male, is throwing a tomato, that might be somewhat of a warning to get the hell up out of here for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it could be. It could have been their clothes. It could have been they was in the wrong area. It could have been they've been taking pictures. In some of these countries, they don't like photos or videos being taken. So I just hope them sisters got out of there. I'm pretty sure they got out of there safely because I haven't heard anything else about this incident. But this is the thing, man. If you got females in your family, you got sisters, nieces, cousins, whatever, and they're going on these group trips to these other countries, tell them to, be mindful of the country's cultures. Because I think that, unfortunately, a lot of women think that everything is Miami. They think that, hey, I'm going on vacation, I'm going here, I'm gonna turn up, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna wear what I want. No. So you think about being a man when you're traveling overseas, is this always like, and don't get me wrong, as men in another country, we are at a huge disadvantage 9 times out of 10. But there's still a different look when you see a group of women and you see a group of men. A group of women, it's like you can scold them, throw stuff at them, they don't panic, they ain't gonna do nothing, But as far as men, you just never know the type of men that you're throwing that tomato at. So that might give the guy a little hesitation, right? They might give the guy a little hesitation. Come on, coaches. Somebody said they were probably doing crime. Come on, man. They weren't doing crime. Oh, did I freeze? Oh, guys, I think I might have froze. Let me know if I'm coming through the stream crispy clear real quick. Oh, I think I might have froze. Hold on. Somebody says global. See, I can't even see your comments right now, guys. Maybe I might have froze a little bit. Somebody says, shout out my man Brandon Clark. All right, family, we back. Sorry about that. Usually, Tyler internet is super fast. I don't know what's going on today, but we froze a little bit for a second. All right. Shout out to Tamiko White. She said, I've done my research and had to go all the way back to about 10 years and found that a movement of American college educated Black women realized that dating out would be more beneficial for them. Well, maybe in the States. It would be more beneficial to you, Tamiko. Somebody said BMT disappeared back to the Matrix. Listen, this show isn't about people dating interracially. This show is about who's having a better dating experience overall. All right, who's having a better dating experience overall, and there are always exceptions. I'm not saying that you don't have interracial relationships with Black women and foreign men. That's what I'm not saying. But the majority of successful relationships, at least overseas, internationally, would be from the men dating the foreign women. All right. I agree. I've been to UK twice, including London. I got plenty of attention from the girls. Real talk. I think UK Black marriage is different from US American Black men. All right. Oh, we got a little beef in it. Do I need to drop a link? Hold on, let me drop a link, man. Let me see if anybody wants to pull up. Before we get on up out of here. You know, it really angers some women. Like it really upsets them when they find out that it's a possibility that not even a possibility, but when they find out that men can go overseas and date the women and be in their genuine relationship, especially the older men, it really makes them upset. Okay, hold on, Tamiko. Tamiko, you want to come on? Let me know if you want to come on. I don't know what BW. Okay, Black women going their own way was conceived and born around 2010s, since the Black women have become what is called divestors or sometimes solo travelers. Tamiko, I just dropped a link. In the chat if you want to, you're welcome to pull up. All right, I got a super chat here about man Scotty Cook. He says, "What's good, BMT? Keep the travel knowledge going, my God. The travel doc, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. You actually used to call me Doc back in the day. All right, I'm gonna pull up Tunnel Ronald Roy Nail. Welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, man? How you doing? Hold on.
Good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The women can't travel like the brothers. It's just they can't do it. It just can't be done. And it's really unsafe for them to be doing what they're doing. They really put themselves in a lot of danger, especially the solo travelers. Solo women, there's actually stories out there of women getting jacked up and hurt, but they don't want to put that out there. Going by themselves. Yeah, a group, 2 women is still kind of dangerous. I mean, 4, you're probably gonna be okay, but anything less than that, y'all they playing with fire in certain countries, So I mean, but they keep doing it, and really, it's not enough women telling them and men telling them that it's a bad move.
That's facts. There's a lot of misinformation, but I got to say that it's some truths coming out. Some women are being truthful about their travel experiences, and I can respect that part. But the main thing is, like I said before, they hate that men in general, not Black men, but just men in general, can go overseas and actually find a genuine relationship.
Yeah, because men are looking what women are looking for are 2 different things. Men are looking to go somewhere to meet a woman. They don't mind being the provider. They don't mind being the man. Women are going over there and they want to be the woman. They want to be provided for. And if you ain't and you in America in the West, you are in that's the best place to be for a woman, to be provided for. If you're going to another country and you're going to meet, let's say Colombia, and meet a doctor or a lawyer who's making $60,000-$70,000 and you're making 130, he's at the top of the food chain. He got all kind of women. He ain't, even with his 60 or 70, he don't want to put that with yours. So it doesn't benefit them when they can meet somebody here making 100,000 and them, it's just the math don't math.
There you go.
The math
and shout out to my
not
man.
Math.
Shout out to my man Aaron Dante Uncharted, DPS for life. He's also a member. Salute to you. Says BMT, what's going on, brother? Just chilling here in the Philippines. Hope you're enjoying the Philippines, my brother. I know it's beautiful out there. All right. Shout out to you.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to tell all the brothers, look, I tell all these brothers that think they're short here in America, go to the Philippines. You will be tall. I was there. I'm 6'1". I was the tallest man. There was nobody else. They only met one guy, another Black American that was the same height as me. Everybody else, I mean, if you're 5'6", you're on a little tall. Well, you're normal. Ain't nobody too much to, you're normal. They ain't nobody gonna tell you you're short.
Yeah, especially outside these tourist areas. You start walking around, you'll definitely see that you're taller. It's funny because I actually did a consultation with a guy, right? And we was having a good conversation in this consultation. I'm providing him all the information he need about moving to Thailand. And he just said, BMT, hold on for a second, man. Hold on, just stop. Because I'm sitting here just giving him information, right? He's like, wait a minute. Because he's asking about dating. He said, bro, I'm 5'2". Am I gonna have an issue? Because I'm short, bro. Like I just want to know if I'm short. And I'm just like, bro, you're not gonna have the issue at all. Like if you come into the Asia, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna pop right on in. The height is not a big deal out here. All right.
Yeah, because there's 4'9" women walking around Asia, 88, 88 pounds, and it is what it is.
I remember when I was in Brazil, and me and my friend had met these German flight attendants, and one of them, she was like a tall white chick. She might have been at least 6'1". She's like a female basketball player, and she was just like, "How tall are you?" And I'm like, "Bitch, how tall are you?" Like I'm 5'11". How tall are you? You tall as shit. So yeah, that's like more of a Western thing. Outside of West, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Africa and like all of Asia, even places in Africa, 5'2", 5'3", guys walking around with no problem.
Facts.
But yeah,
Facts.
America is a country that has a lot of tall people. And some other places in Europe are very tall. But you can go to places where, the average height is 5'6" for a man. In America, it's 5'9". So, you can do the math.
It's crazy to me because even when I was growing up, I didn't hear about it being such a big deal in the States. I mean, I don't know when the height became so much of a thing in the States. Yeah, maybe like in the early 2000s with social media or something like that. But
Yeah.
overseas is not a big deal.
All of this has become aspirational. It used to be a woman would just want somebody, just a nice car, a nice bag. Now, because of social media, they want a G-Wagon. They want a baby Benz. If you get them a maximum or something, they be like, oh no, they want more. You get them a regular bag, Michael Kors, they want a Gucci or they want a Louis Vuitton. All of this is social media because they've seen it in the songs. So when you just bring them a regular bag from Macy's, they're like, oh, but before they used to be like they were happy.
Yeah, I remember
And so
them pre-social media days.
yeah,
It was
so
at one point it was a little sweet spot though. Like I think I want to say like 2012, maybe from like 2010 to 2012, 2013. There was like a little sweet spot for social media, right? You're reaching out to your old girlfriends on Facebook or something or Instagram or something like that. But then it just got out of hand. It just got out of hand. I want to give a shout out to my man Brandon Clark, Stocks and Passports with a $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. We gotta do a show one day, man. If you want to come on and talk about some stocks, we like to talk about investing here. He says, just showing support, brother. The app is awesome. The Facebook group cool too. Excellent content, fam. Appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Speaking on the Facebook group, man, make sure you guys join the right Facebook group. 1 second, do I pronounce that Tuna or Tuna?
It's Tune Runner.
Tuna Runner. Okay, let me
like music tune. What's up? I don't know. I think Aaron then he left. He's coming back.
The rain. Yeah, what's going on today? Usually Thailand internet is super fast, so I'm assuming it's the rainy season. It must be pouring down rain outside. But let me share you guys real quick the actual original Facebook group, so you guys can stop messaging me about people declining your post or scamming you. This is the original group. Started back in the day. I think it was 2020, 2021. All right, this is where it all started at, the original Passport Bros Facebook group. That's the one that went viral on Fox News and everything. This is the group, because there's other little knockoff groups that, allow women, I be getting messages, man, why you let women in the group? I said, bro, that's not my Facebook group. Hey, bro, I sent some money for a group trip, but, I don't know what happened. I'm like, that's not my Facebook group, bro. Well, that's not me and Cardell's Facebook group. So this is the original. It's at 26,400. It could be way bigger. Some of the groups, the knockoff groups, are bigger. But they allow trolls in. Some of the groups have fake people in there as well. So that's why they look bigger. But this right here is the original group. Shout out my man Aaron Dante says, I feel like he is in line 6'2" years. Dante, I think you a little taller than 6'2", brother. Like you about 6'3". All right. Tamiko R. White says, just for the record, I fully 100% support all Black men and women getting the U.S. passport and traveling globally to find love, marriage, jobs, for their business, and building a good life. So shout out to Tamiko. She's in support. She's in full support. All right. All right. I got to come in here, but my man Aaron Dante on chart DPS for life. He's also a member. He says, I have to say, many safe place for solo women travelers. Africa, very safe. Thailand, Cambodia, many places in Mexico like Tulum, Philippines, El Nido. I can go on about that. So yeah, there are some safer areas. I would say maybe not Colombia, maybe not Brazil. But there have been some instances of women being kidnapped. I think a sister got kidnapped or she's missing here in Thailand. Before that, previously, there was a woman that went missing here in Thailand. People go missing in Thailand, believe it or not. So you got to be careful. I do feel like women are more of a target when they travel solo overseas. So I'll be very aware of that. Tamiko White says, they out or die, I always say. So we got let me tell you, I don't know why some women actually feel like there is a better ethnic group of men than the other. That always kind of just throws me off to a bit, because I'm sitting here like, you do realize men are ultimately the same. They want the same thing. You might date out and found a good man of that particular ethnic group or culture, but in general, men are all the same. We want peace. All right. We want to a certain degree a woman that doesn't have a super high body count. You know what I'm saying? That haven't had too many experiences. We want the same things, man. And in instances, the foreign men rather, way more strict than American men. All right, shout out to the original man. Says, I left the Facebook group because of so many trolls. We've been getting the trolls out of there lately, original man, but I do appreciate the $5 Mr. Chat. Yeah. There have been this is sister actually missing right now. They have not found her. She's in Thailand. I wish I could pull up the information, but yeah, it's a sister out here that's been missing. People go missing overseas, man. So much
I mean, but go ahead.
All right, let me read super chat by my man Zeno with $2 super chat. He says 5'4" is tall for a woman in the Philippines, so the majority of dudes can get chicks, but young women are starting to care about height. America is infiltrating over there. That's interesting. It's all social media. It's all the social media.
And Aaron, the women are. Go ahead.
Passport, bro, divestors. We have to do a show like that, but Tamiko won't pull up. What'd you say?
I was going to say women always trying to get the best of what they can get. So wherever you go, women are trying to get basically the richest, the tallest, the most muscular, the most charisma, that they can get. But the thing is, overseas, they're a little bit more reasonable. Even with social media, they're more reasonable because, some things are they don't see as that they can possess. Where in America, since we are the richest country in the world, people do see, guys driving Lamborghinis, and even though it's a small percentage, you don't see so much of that in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So they will accept less than, the G-Wagon. They will accept just a regular car because it's to them that is, they are in the upper percentage of people.
That's facts.
When a lot of people are driving mopeds and motorcycles and they're driving just a regular car, they're cool. You don't see that many people driving mopeds in America.
Right. I think the value system is different overseas as well. Women value men a little bit differently, for protection, not just for provisions, but just, it's just a cultural difference in general, whereas a lot of our women have been programmed to kind of just be independent, kind of do it all, that they can do all by their own. We've had movies, we've had, 30, 40 years of Oprah, it's like a lot of programming there in the West that's kind of goes against the family best interest for the most part. And it's just so funny to me that America hasn't necessarily hit a negative birth rate, but it is getting there. And that's why you got, them trying to offer money, like $5,000 per baby and everything like that. Because in some of these countries, they're already a negative birth rate, right? Some of these westernized Asian countries like Japan has a negative birth rate. I think Spain has a negative birth rate. Greece has a negative birth rate. And, it's a big deal because basically they're saying that, they don't import people that society is going to eventually die out. So having a negative birth rate is pretty bad. And America is like right on the line. But the only reason America doesn't necessarily have an American birth rate is because of all the other ethnicities. It's because of Black women, Latino women, other ethnicities of women having babies. But if it was all white nation, America would 100% have a negative birth rate as well. Somebody said, no, it is a negative birth rate. Yeah, it might be a negative birth rate. Like I say, because there's so much immigration going on, it might not be reflected in the numbers at this point. But all the other Western countries like Spain, Greece, Japan, Korea, all of them have negative birth rates, which basically means they're not going to be able to survive. They're not going to be able to repopulate themselves. It's a big, big deal. As a matter of fact, I believe in Japan, they just passed something. Well, they just passed in Japan. It was just a bill they just passed. It was a bill they just passed. I forgot what it was, but it was something to motivate the people to start having children again. Let me see if I can look up that bill. What bill they just passed? Because the writing's on the wall, man.
Yeah. I mean, even the Black American FBAs, we would probably only be 10% if we didn't have immigration from the Caribbean and Africa. That's the only reason why we're maintaining our numbers, because as far as the birth rates, it has dropped for FBAs. The only reason why we're still 13 to 16% of the population is because of the Africans and the Caribbeans coming over here.
Facts, because unfortunately, man, women aborted a lot of babies, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we would right now we would be above the Latinos if we didn't have if abortion was illegal. So a lot of kids have been disappeared.
It's very unfortunate. I'm gonna see if I can find this clip. Let me give a shout out to my man Marcus A. Brown. Shout out to you, MAB. I just saw your last reaction video, so shout out to you. So salute the BMT, the panel, and the chat. Appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. Enjoy having a good experience out here with you when you came to Pattaya. Says the Turk says South Korea has a negative birth rate as well. Yeah, a lot of them have negative birth rates, bro. It really is a big deal. I think Southeast Asia is doing fine on the birth rate right now, but in those other North Asian countries, there's a negative birth rate for sure.
And the BET, I like what you're doing, man, for the travel, for the passport brothers, and we want to support you, and you're doing a great job.
Will be introduced.
Oh, sorry about that, bro. Sorry about that. Pull that camera.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But we're letting you know that you're doing a good job, and we appreciate your hard work.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. I'll be getting it in, bro. Appreciate it. Slow and steady wins the race. So this is a reaction, not reaction. This is a video coming out of Japan. Let's see what she has to say.
Bachelor tax will be introduced from April 2026 due to decreasing of birth rates and low population in Japan. Basically, being single will be taxed.
I think we already taxed being single. Aren't we taxed being single in America already? I think they already have a bachelor tax in America, because I know I was paying hella taxes in the States.
Honey, I will break it down. So the government, Japan, will increase the tax to help raising a child. If you're single or married, not having children, doesn't matter. Everyone has to pay this tax. Like this, if you give a birth, you will receive money from the government more than before, stuff like that, because government gonna use that tax to give money to the people who has a kid. Government wanna Japanese people to wanting kids, so they're introducing this bachelor tax. Do you think this will help Japanese people to make babies in Japan?
And we also, I know we've heard about Trump offering American women what, $5,000 to have a baby. Really, American white women. Yeah, really for American white women. But of course, you know, we always kind of fly up on the radar and we'll get the money. But the black women get the money too. But this is a big problem. I know a lot of guys not really paying attention to this, but this is a bigger problem than what you think when a population can't repopulate themselves. All right.
Well, like in BT, like in Japan, there are places out there in the countryside where you can get a house for like $8,000, but nobody wants to live out there. You know, I mean, it's far away from the cities. They're looking to, because they're closing schools down, and so they're looking for people to come out there, but you have to live where they want you to live. So that's a, you know, you ain't gonna be in Tokyo, you're not gonna be around the big cities. But you can get a house there for like 16, and it's a nice house for $16,000. But if you get it for that
I've
price, you
seen
have to
some of them
stay there.
houses too.
Yeah, but you have to stay there. So that's the situation. Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah,
So on the
something to
list
think
of
about.
countries, and the funny thing is, most of those countries that you're mentioning have negative birth rates. So you got South Korea, that's the number one. You got Taiwan, you got Japan, and Italy, Spain, and Greece. All right. All right, let me see if I can show this real quick. Hold on, let me pull this up. So at one time, the U.S. gave the test rate to married couples. The Latinos in America are still having big families. I want to say they up there. I want to say they up there. Let me see if I can show this screen real quick. Let's see what's on the top of the list. All right. So we got Taiwan at number one, South Korea, number two. We got Singapore, Ukraine, Hong Kong, what's that? Macau, Moldova, damn, Puerto Rico. Much of them Puerto Rico would be, I don't know about that. Italy, Spain. Puerto Rico is not a country, by the way. I don't know why it would be on this. It's U.S. territory. We got Poland. Mauritius. That's the one my guy said one of the most racist countries in the world. Bosnia, British Virgin Islands, Japan, Greece, Costa Rica, Bahamas. All right, so you got a few. The United States not on there right now.
Yeah, BT, most of the Puerto Ricans are in America, New York, and Miami, and Chicago. Puerto Rico is empty. You know, is that people have after that hurricane, the people have left. A lot of people have left Puerto Rico, so it's one of the poorest. What is it? With the Commonwealth, you know, we got going because their tax thing is jacked up.
Yeah, I heard it's a little expensive out there in Puerto Rico too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, a lot of young people have left the Commonwealth and moved to America, so they just have a lot of old people and very young people, you know. So, but the middle class has left.
TF says, I think FBA are not having as many kids because of low marriage rates and finances. It's a lot of reasons that foundational Black Americans aren't having any kids anymore. I think one of the main reasons is guys don't want to be on child support for 18 to 21 years. Lil Man, the OG, says Puerto Rico is on the list because though it's an American Commonwealth, it still operates as a country that's why they can represent themselves in the Olympics. Oh, okay. I thought it was a U.S. territory.
Now you're Commonwealth, so half and half. Yeah, it's a Commonwealth.
Okay.
Like I think Guam is a Commonwealth too, half and half.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody joining the show. Classic show today, man. I want to also appreciate you, Ronell, for coming on, man. Appreciate you coming on, brother.
All right, thank you for having me, sir.
All right, guys. So that's been the show for the day, man. Tune in. I'm gonna drop some more reaction videos. And if you haven't already joined the Passport Bros app, make sure to download that Passport Bros app. All right. Peace.